Good shot, man. You didn't see that. No, Rich, you're not best friends.
Afternoon, everybody. This is Anthony from Airsoft. I'm a battle buddy.
Matt.
This is Asked Amp episode 34, I believe. 32.
Jumping the gun there a little bit.
Am I a little excited? All right. Either way, episode 30, whatever. We didn't get a chance to drive out anywhere today, so we're slouching in some chairs right outside the shop. You know, just hanging out, doing some stuff, making fun of all of the indoor guys as they work, and I'm just sitting here doing my thing. This is a question and answer show where you submit questions down below the doobly-doo or on Facebook wherever we post this. We draw them out and we answer them. Seems pretty simple. It's about all we do. We try to be as honest as possible.
Yeah.
How long are you there? Till 9, Adam. Very professional, by the way. Ooh, almost dropped my phone.
We're on our phones, 25/8.
Yeah, at least. All right, so first question. I'm going to start it off from Raven Airsoft. Hey, Amp, I came over from some semi-professional paintball. Didn't make any money, but it was fun. I know a buddy that used to be pro paintball.
Yeah.
Fun. He had a ball doing it.
Yeah.
About a year ago, and I love this sport of milsim. I'm looking to getting a Polar Star for my Crytek M4 gun, but came across the Magpul electronic recoil system the other day and was intrigued by it. And wanted to know your thoughts and opinions on what I should do. P.S. I like the realism factor, but I'm used to having a tank. P.S.S. Looking forward to being a PJ if that helps. Oh, so you want to have a really low speed, or high speed, low drag kit.
Low speed, high drag.
Low speed. Boop. Brilliance.
Convenience.
Brilliance.
And
So Fusion Engine. If you're gonna get a Crytek, I would go with an S&P, the Polar Star Jack, the future Wolverine Hydra, or the future Polar Star F1, because all of those drop into the gearbox and you get to keep all your stuff. I'm personally going to buy 2 jacks because they're all pretty slick.
I'm getting at least one.
Watch our review. The review's coming up pretty quick. And I love the thing. I really do. I wholeheartedly love it.
Yep.
They simplified the programming on the FCU. Super great. But I would get one of the drop-in systems if that's what you're going to do. It's easier, and you don't have to worry about fitment issues, and you get to keep all the functions of your stuff.
He was talking about
Now
the
the-
M4 the Biggs has, right?
Yeah, now the ERG, I like AEGs too. Don't get me wrong, anybody who's out there. I like AEGs too. And Biggs owns one of those, and he did a review about it. We already did a review of the KWA ERG, the Magpul one. He has the 14.5-inch carbine barrel, and he loves it. Yeah, he loves it. You can switch the mags from 30 rounds to 60 rounds for training. It also has a bolt stop feature, so if you hit the last round in the mag, it stops. So you have to put a new mag in and then hit the bolt release or charge the charging handle to get it to start cycling. And it runs off of electric instead of gas, which other guns that do that are all gas blowback.
Yeah.
Except for
cool.
a PTW. And I think the thing's awesome, and it shoots stupid well.
Yeah.
For an AEG, it shoots great. I like them both. Personal preference, really. I would go with the Jack, though, just because it's hilarious.
Yeah, and again, with the ERG, you're going to run into a lot of proprietary problems with it.
Exactly.
Just, you know,
has
it's
recoil,
fitted with
though,
all
too.
the Magpul and stuff. You know, obviously any rail accessories will be fine with it, but once you start getting into like the magazines or
If
there's
you,
only
you,
the
you can,
KWAs you
can use
right?
regular mags,
Yeah.
but if you want all the features to work, you have to use the KWA mags, which are more expensive and harder to find.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay, so if you guys don't remember last time, we started doing like little packs of questions because a lot of you guys ask.
A
lot of you ask the same
You ask
question.
the same question all the time, guys.
But a lot of you
All
ask
you.
sort of similar questions, so we want to try and give everybody their chance. So this one I grabbed. It's got a bunch of Polar Star related questions. First one's from Caffeinated3. Hey guys, from watching your stuff, I want to convert to HPA. Currently I have some weird tactical AK that works fine, but it has sub-parts internally. I was wondering if I could put a jack in it once the jack is released. Also, I'm from outside Philly. It's nice to have a cool shop relatively nearby. #Yins. #Anthony took some drugs during his vacation.
Hey man, I came back faded. I had a good time in New Orleans.
Yes, they have a V3 jack. It's already out right now.
Yeah,
I
you're
think we
good.
still have those in stock. Unless your AK
We're getting
is,
a shipment this week, so
Yeah.
by the time they see this, the shipment has already come.
Yeah. So unless your AK is completely different than a V3, you should be good to go to drop it in the gearbox shell.
Yeah, it's just the big thing about like the drop-in systems like the Jack and the S&P. The only thing you need to make sure of is, does it have a place to put the trigger board?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a V3, a V2, and a saw. So you have to just make sure that like your trigger board components all line up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to make sure that it has a nozzle that's the right length. That's it. Other than that, it just and you bolt it all back together and it's good to go.
And if you can figure out a way to get your trigger to work, but your nozzle's not one of those three, Polar Star will make you a custom one.
If
Just
you get
shoot
the Jack,
their,
just shoot them an email. They'll measure it for you.
Yeah, they just
And
tell
they'll
them what model and everything you have. They'll do all the math and science and make you one. So
They got some solid engineers there. They got some really.
they're head thinkers.
They do brain stuff.
Next one's from Nathan Langmeyer. Hey Amp, love the show. You definitely are the best airsoft retailer.
Aw, thank you.
I just have one question though. What kind of poppet should I use with a 500 Orga with a black nozzle?
Ooh, black nozzle's not quite as high as a silver or red.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do a poppet, and he has said it's an Orga,
He's got a 500 millimeter Orga.
so he's got an M16 length Orga.
Yeah.
So here's what I always tell people: if you're gonna run an Orga, typically from 10.5 inches up to whatever length you're going to do, you're going to want a red poppet.
Yep.
Because an Orga's a wide bore, it decreases your FPS a lot. The red poppet is not as air efficient as the gold, so it kind of balances it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to combine that with either a red, silver, or if your FPS setting is okay, a purple.
Yeah.
Any one of those three to keep your ranges good. Like I run a 260 something or whatever, the 10.5 inch barrel Orga with a red poppet, red nozzle. And that gets me anywhere from 300 FPS up to like 430.
Yeah.
So like that's my range with those parts in that setup. So you should typically go with a red, but if you run a tight bore, go with a gold because it's more restrictive in it because your tight bore boosts you up really high. The gold is really restrictive, so it brings you back down again. Just do it like that.
This one's more of a request, I guess. Izzy201. Hello, first thing, amazing show. Definitely a lot better than other shows.
Aw.
We do try.
Well, except for today. We could have went somewhere cool and we decided to go 10 feet from the front door.
Our office doesn't have windows, so we get outside as often as we can.
You got to, otherwise you're going to chew on a shotgun barrel.
My question is, can you soon make a video of how to install and the benefits of air stocks in S&Ps and Polar Stars? Thanks for the info. We actually do plan to do
have
a
that
Pleb
on.
de Bro.
Okay, here's the thing. Our Pleb de Bro list.
Pleb de Bro.
The list is like seriously like 40 things deep. And that's because right now we're swinging through so many nat ops that we just are not here. We're gone at least every other weekend.
We want to teach you guys, and we do have a lot of
We
cool
really
things.
do want to do this. It's just
Our-
we're busy as
The airstock one is higher up on the list. We are going to be doing that soon. It's going to show how to install the airstock as well as our upgrade kit.
the upgrade kit for
which
the lines.
is a very cool. If you don't know about that, it's basically like the amp line for the airstock. So again, no macro. But they're 99%.
99% gone.
There's a little piece left we haven't found a way to replace yet. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I have theories, but it would jack the price up a little high, and we're not sure if people would buy it or not at that price. So.
This is from Obey Envy. Hey, Ask Amped. I'm thinking of getting a Polar Star. I don't know which gun to get. My H&K MP5 is great indoor and heavy, so it feels like I'm actually holding a gun. Has good range, better range than whatever his other gun is. Or his G&G Raider, which is kind of worse, but I have like 4 more mags for the M4, but I don't know which one to get. Well, MP5, you would... What can you do HPA?
So MP5, it fits a V2 gearbox. So you can
Yep.
drop a V2 fusion engine into it. You just need to steal the selector plate off of your
Yep.
MP5 gearbox. You have to steal the trigger out of it
Mm-hmm.
to put into your fusion engine box, and you have to get an MP5 specific nozzle. Or you can get a Jack, S&P, Hydra, which will be a lot easier because you're going to use the gearbox that already comes in the MP5.
Yep.
To be honest with you, I've seen... Because the MP5 hop-up locks in a lot better than a standard M4 hop-up does.
It's more similar to an AK one,
It's
right?
kind of like a weird gray area between
Yeah.
the two for most models. That's most models, not all of them, but most
Yeah.
of them are like that. And like they shoot stupid good with an HPA system in them because the hop-up doesn't unadjust itself very much.
Yeah.
Unless you go with an M4 with a Pro in.
There was actually at Lightning Strike in Maryland a couple weeks ago. There was an
No,
entire
that-
squad
wait,
of
well-
the MP5 guys. The
Well,
HPA
that was
MP5s.
it. That was it lightning strike, and then one of those dudes.
Funny.
I think one of those dudes was at OpX with us not this last weekend, but the weekend before. And he had his MP5 and he had an SMP in it.
Yeah.
And the thing shot great. He had a full normal size MP5 with the collapsible Navy stock. Looked sick.
Yeah, and they shot awesome.
Looked sick.
If you're still debating between the guns, the G&Gs are very, very good to drop things into. The jack, literally our install video is for a G&G gearbox. Fusion engines fit perfectly into them. I mean, G&Gs are very forgiving, and they're good, and they're strong. All of our test models are pretty much dropped into G&G combat machines.
We can tell that real quick. Every time we get a new HPA system into the shop and we want to do a test, we use them in stock G&G combat machine in like hop-ups, barrels, buckings, nubs. Drop them into stock G&G combat machine bodies, and then we test them because it takes away all of the variables. So then we can see actually what is better and what is worse.
Yeah,
because everything's the same. So we use combat machines all the time. Like the SMP and the Jack are both in combat machines right now.
Yep.
About ready to rip that Hydra out of that other body because it's giving me grief and put it in a combat machine just so it's easier to deal with.
Yep.
It's just easy that way. And besides, they're super light. You can just run with the thing. It's not gonna feel heavy or anything.
Yeah, definitely. We've got two more in this little pack. Jaden Thomason. Thanks for answering my last question. Now I'm ready to build my dream Polar Star. But I was wondering when your M4 Polar Star player kits will be back in stock. This is from a couple weeks ago. Also, which poppet would be best for an Orga barrel? I want to use 3 2s, an Orga, Pro-In, Promi Purple, Firefly, Red Poppet, and Silver Nozzle. Is that a good combo for range? Thanks for all the help. I mean, you answered your own question, basically.
Here's the thing. The poppet and nozzle and stuff have nothing to do with your range.
Yeah. Air efficiency and...
it's more air efficiency and output velocity.
Yep.
Your output velocity will affect your range a little bit, but when you're dealing with a sphere that quickly has air resistance and drops, your hop-up barrel and all of that assembly is what's going to put backspin on it to get it to go further. Now, Pro-In, Firefly, all that stuff, that's what I run.
Yeah,
that's what almost everybody in the shop runs, mainly because it's easy to do.
We recommend it.
It's easy to do. A flat hop setup's a lot easier to do. Now, our hop setups, I've started personally dabbling into them myself.
With the hop science?
Yeah, I have not. I have learned how to do it, and I'm going to start trying to do it for myself.
Too Tall
taught me.
He did some weird science, and it's spreading like fever.
He's spreading the fever. Now, I'm going to try it. But I'm going to say, as someone who wants something to just drop in and work, the flat hop is way easier to do.
Yep.
It's just way easier to do.
Yeah.
But it'll shoot fine. Yeah, you're looking at least a 200 to 250 foot gun flat line.
Yeah. All right, one last one in this packet. Jason Bolanos. Hey, Amp, I was looking into getting a Polar Star. I play at fields where 400 FPS is the limit. He wants to be able to shoot at the edge of that. Also wants to use a standard M4 length wide bore. So you're looking at 363
probably
Orga.
363 or a 10.5 inch, the 260 or whatever.
The only problem is air. What should I do to make it more efficient? Also, I followed your guide on how to flat hop, but the flat hop does not do anything. It does not affect the BB, and finally my SMP has been you're having all sorts of problems today.
Man, you on the struggle bus. Where's Scott at? Scott will pick you up.
Let's knock these down first. The first one for the Polar Star air efficiency with a wide bore.
First of all, wide bore, you're going to go red poppet.
Yep.
You're going to want to use, if you want the most efficient setup, I'm going to tell you the parts right now. Ready? If you are content to stick with the wide bore barrel, you're not going to get a different barrel. You're going to go red poppet, shims, and then you're going to do the lightning banjo.
Yeah.
If you're going to if you want the most efficient setup, you're going to go, and that poppet's going to be red poppet. Now, if you're going to go the most efficient setup, you're going to go tight bore, gold poppet shims, lightning banjo. And the tighter the bore you can get without having problems with like jams and stuff, the better. So you're probably going to want to get a 603. That'll give you the most efficient setup. If you can get tighter and you trust yourself and you trust your BBs a lot, then you could probably go a 601, or you could get an Orga 600 if you trust your BBs.
Enough.
If you trust your BBs, some brands are a little bit wonky. That's your most efficient setup.
All right. Second one is he followed our guide to flat hop. Nothing to affect the BB. There's a couple things you're going to want to check. Watch the video again. I'm guessing that the number one is the ring. A lot of people do this, and it's an easy step to miss. I miss it all the time on accident. Basically, when you install the back ring, you have to make sure, say you're looking at the Pro-In from the ejection port side, there's your adjustment ring. There's a little notch that has to sit a certain way, so when you spin the ring, it raises and lowers that. A lot of times people put that on and they don't line it up, So that little notch sits there, and your adjustment dial still spins, but you're not doing anything.
If he's using a Pro in.
Yeah.
Other option could be if he's using another stock hop-up, your arm might be damaged, or it just might not reach down far enough to actuate it well. So it relies on the bump.
Another thing you want to do is maybe like take the inner barrel out. Take a flashlight. Make sure it hasn't spun. Make sure your bucking isn't shredded. It's always little tiny things with hop-ups. They're so finicky. And I think this is the funny one I like. Finally, my S&P has been making a noise. It's somewhat quiet, but if you listen, you will notice it. It kind of sounds like a Keurig coffee machine warming up. It's probably because the guy before me used standard paintball tanks with an SLP regulator. Ooh. Always sorry for...
safe.
Yeah, he might have Shrek something. Sorry for the long question. Thanks.
Now, the SLP regulator, what it'll do is it won't allow the high pressure air into the system. It's an industrial regulator, so that's not going to be the issue about why it sounds like a Keurig coffee machine. If you're going to have any problems with a standard paintball tank on an SLP regulator, you'd be worrying about blowouts at the regulator. The regulator will restrict the air into the gun, unless it has a catastrophic failure, which, judging by the way you made it sound like it doesn't sound like the dude's dead, so we're cool there. It's probably a lubrication or O-ring problem, if you want me to be real honest with you.
If he does weird stuff like that, check the hydro in your tank as well.
Yeah.
S&P, I wonder if it's dumping air like when the nozzle locks.
Yeah, it might be just stuck because it's got dirt in it.
Yeah, no, just
clean it.
Do a basic, clean it, wipe it down, lubricate it.
Tech T, gun sap.
Yeah, Tech T, lube it, see if it's still doing it. If not, shoot a message to Wolverine. They
usually take care of it.
Customer service is really good as long as it's not like something heinous you did to it.
So, much like Matt's combo platter, I got another one for gas blowbacks. So we're just gonna roll through them. The Dolphin Gaming. My cousin gave me a green gas blowback pistol, and it only shoots about 3 BBs before running out of gas. What can I do to fix it? You're gonna check all your seals in your mag. One of them went bad, and it's just leaking.
Also make sure you're filling the mag completely. You may just not be putting enough gas in.
It could be that, but most likely it's probably a seal thing.
Could be a gas hog. You never know.
Yeah, That guy Chris. Hey, Amped, have any of you guys shot a GHK AK? Yeah, I have. I personally own one and would recommend it as a very reliable on New Prol 4.0, the black one, or on CO2. I do agree that the mags are costly and need the feed lift sanding a bit as they are tight, but the actual rifle is solid and performs like a tank built by LCT. Also, compared to other metal guns such as a VFC, how solid is the body of a Tippmann? I was wondering as I saw Anthony's broke. By the way, love the show from the UK. All right, I have shot a GHK AK, and I really like them, actually.
I've heard Stu talks about them all the time.
Stu talks about them all the time.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a really solid gun.
Yeah.
I just don't see them very often because of the limitations of gas blowback guns.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, you got to think of where you're writing your questions from, because, a lot of guys, I use a gas blowback rifle all the time, and I love it. I'm like, where do you live? They're like, Florida. I'm like, we can't use that 6 months out of the year here because it's cold. Even today, it's only 72 degrees, and we're in the middle of June, end of June. It's just,
You guys don't know the hand warmer struggle with gas blowbacks.
I've seen dudes at games in the snow tape
hand warmers
to
the mag.
each mag so that their gun will run. Everyone seems to think I hate gas blowbacks. I don't. I just,
They're not as common as every other
They're just not
system.
as common here.
They're fun. They're fun.
I
love LM4s.
Besides
some of the proprietary
I
stuff.
do agree. The GHK is solid. It's just built well.
Yeah.
Also, compared to other metal guns, such as a VSC, how solid is the body of the Tippmann? Actually, in all honesty, it's very solid. It's just that I messed up and broke it.
This is something you will never do.
Never do the things I do.
Science we do. He broke it in a gun vise.
I broke it in a gun vise trying to wrench on it.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's even with how we broke it, it still worked. Stronger than most guns with zip ties holding it together.
It still works.
And we did get it fixed.
It's fixed. No more zip ties on it. We're gonna leave.
We might put them back on.
I was thinking of putting them back on and just just doing it anyway.
I was gonna put the white ones back on.
But it's very solid. It's all aluminum.
The Tippmann body is actually one of my favorites because it's more narrow and it's more accurate.
It's more accurate to a real AR. It's actually the right dimensions. Which is nice.
So the grip feels better, like a nice solid A2 grip. I think the body's real strong. I purposely, whenever I run it at games, I beat the shit out of it. I drop it.
Fun fact: we drowned it and put it. We completely submerged it in about 6 inches of water. Waited 2 or 3 minutes, let it completely fill. All the bubbles stopped coming out of it. Then we picked it up and we're like, pew 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 pew, and it worked.
Yeah, we're waiting on our buddy RJ. He did a cell phone video of it, but I'm waiting for him to send that to us. So as soon as we find that, I'll throw it in a video somewhere.
It's hilarious.
It's
it
pretty
works.
funny.
Christopher Rudge, hey guys, what is the most effective length for a gas blowback pistol? I have a WE-18C and it currently has a 330 millimeter barrel, which is a bit over the top. And have you seen the new DevTech full face mask, Ronin ballistic mask? Would you wear one if you could? All right, so 300 millimeter. Here's the thing I'll say about gas blowbacks: the longer the barrel, the higher your joules are going to increase.
Yep.
And you could hurt somebody if you run too long of a barrel.
Yeah.
Because let's just say you take a rifle, for example. Let's say you take a KWA LM4 rifle that's a 14.5-inch barrel, and its stock shoots 400 FPS, like right around there, 410, sometimes 380, like it just kind of fluctuates a little bit. Let's say you put a 500 millimeter barrel in it. Well, now you're probably going to be shooting close to 500 FPS.
Yep.
Because the pressure. So it builds up behind the BB, and it launches it out of the barrel with higher joules. That's just what's going to happen. So if your gun shoots 330, and then you put, like, it shoots CQB safe, like 330 FPS, and then you put a giant barrel on it, you could, if you're using that in CQB, you could hurt somebody, because it could be shooting like 400 FPS.
Yeah, you'll have to run your FPS way down.
So, like, would I run what's the right length barrel? It's the right length barrel for the right job.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would never run a barrel that's too long or too tight in a gas blowback rifle, just because I'd be affecting the energy output of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever works for you, and if it's cool with where you play at, because there's no governing body in airsoft. Like, if it's cool where you play at, whatever. There's no such thing as the wrong thing. It's just whatever you prefer.
It's not the piece of equipment, it's how it's utilized.
Let's see here. And then have I seen the DevTech full face mask? I personally have not.
No.
You've heard of them?
Heard
no,
sorry.
Sorry. This is Dimitri893. Hey, Amped, I want to buy a gas blowback M4. I have done lots of research by reading lots of review and watched a lot of videos, but I still don't know which gas blowback rifle to get. Can you please help me? Which gun is the best performer in the end with upgrades? I do not have a budget. Most important is to build my dream gas blowback M4 that performs like a beast. Love your videos. Keep up the great work.
Well, thank you.
I'd say with the right parts, a GMP walk kit or a Wii with all the right upgrade parts, because there's a lot more parts for them, would be a really, really solid rifle. If you're not looking to invest a lot of money and time, you could go with a stock LM4. Shoots really great.
LM4 is going to be a little better on the price.
It'll be more,
isn't it?
Well, it's more expensive than the base rifle for the other two.
Yeah.
Unless you get a nice GMP walk. If you get a really nice GMP walk, they're expensive.
Oh, Kurt's is really nice.
It's really nice.
Now it's a Daytona gun.
Now it's a Daytona gun, and he hates it. But sorry, it's just
he needs to give it some love.
He needs to give it love. He needs to stop being a mopey Gus about it. But if you don't want to put work into it, an LM4 shoots great. Yep. If you want to put a lot of work into it and you don't have a budget, then either the Wii or the Walk would be great. I personally would get the GMP Walk just because they have really gorgeous externals. They're really, really nice. Like
GMP,
really nice.
I still think they're at the top of the game with just
their
gorgeous
externals
bodies
are
and
just
everything.
Nice. Like they're just nice. The only thing I don't like about them is that I feel like their paint doesn't feel as nice as like a good anodization like on a VFC body.
What's the matter? You always paint it.
But I always spray paint crap anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I would go with a Walk if price isn't an issue.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Do I got like one or two more? Okay, I got two more. So
okay.
this one's from Jack. What do you think of VFC gas blowbacks 416 and M27? Because I have one and I want to upgrade it. So what should I put in it? It's completely stock right now. Keep up the great work.
Jack, you have a million guns.
Jack, you really, you spend a lot of money on things.
There must be a lot of airsoft going on in Germany.
Jack must be having a ball wherever he's at, because the dude just rolls deep.
Yeah.
The VFCs, here's the thing, the VFCs are licensed by Umarex, so they're very hard to get here.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, I have no experience in them, like, at all.
I haven't seen one of those in person in a long time.
Not in a long time. VFC, like those, like the M27, 416, they just don't really exist here. Yeah. Also, I've seen some people get them in from overseas, but like native, like just actually being shipped here to be sold, they don't exist.
Yep.
Unless you get lucky.
Yeah.
What I would do is upgrade to a nice high quality barrel. If you have efficiency problems, look to see if there's any efficiency upgrades for your gun to make sure that it doesn't have too bad a cooldown. Because I know VFC pistols have a really bad problem with cooldown. Like, they cool down really fast the faster you
Yeah.
spam them. They're kind of gas hogs. So I don't know how their rifles perform. So I can't really give you a great answer on that. The best I can do is give you some generalities like, try it. I don't know.
Google's your best friend.
MAG Airsoft, what's the best gas blowback out of the box? I already got a KWA MP9. I'm a big fan of it. All of the hellos from Denmark.
Ooh, Denmark.
The best, okay, here's the thing. Whenever guys ask us what the best is, it's a very subjective question, and it's very hard to answer. So the best is really what's the best for you. Or if you like your MP9, then you obviously like stuff that's short.
Yeah.
So why not go with an MP7?
Yeah, try the new
VFC MP7
full size.
or the VFC UMP45 or the KWA MP7.
That thing was a fun little blaster.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like,
Yeah.
If you want something that's completely different, well, we were just talking about the GHKs. I thought they were pretty sweet. You could try one of those. Like, if you're asking for someone's opinion, like,
it's not always going to be
not always
going to
be what you want.
Yeah.
You might already have a bias in your brain. Like, I've been asking these dudes for weeks, what should my next gun build be? Because
we do the same thing you guys do online. We just all do it at the shop.
We do it at the shop and talk face to face to each other. And so, like, it's just, you know, I can't tell you what the best is. I can tell you what the best for me is. I'd want an M4.
Yeah. People always want to know opinions because they
want to confirm what they want already.
You're trying to happen. Basically, when people ask for opinions, they're trying to suck in as much knowledge from other people. Mm-hmm. Which
totally
that's
agree.
Awesome. I love sucking other people's knowledge.
I mean, it sounds a little explicit, but I mean,
yeah.
sure. You know, so like, you know,
Sorry,
you guys gotta like take that into consideration when you ask these questions. Like, it's difficult because what if my preconceived notions don't jive with yours?
Yeah,
might be an issue.
That's the thing with airsoft is it's not the real military. It's not given you and you're told to use it. Doesn't matter if you hate it or love it.
Yeah, if it were up to me,
you have so many options of upgrades, different guns. Like, the world of airsoft is just so open. I think that's why some people always need opinions, is because there's such a vast catalog of things.
Exactly.
They're like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, when you're starting out, yeah, I totally agree with that. It's scary when you look on a page and there's 20 pages on like WGC shop of just GMP M4s. Like,
you go to Red Wolf and they have like 40 different variants of GMP M4s, and you're just like, so what is the best? And you're like, none of them are the best, and none of them are the worst.
Yeah,
they're there for whatever task you want them for.
Yeah, so when we don't give you guys a complete like, you should do this over this, it's because we're not positive you know what you want quite yet.
And we don't know what you want, and we don't know what we want either.
I don't know what I want.
I
don't even know what I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight.
I'm gonna ask my wife to cook something. Because I'm lazy.
I'll eat ramen.
Probably ramen. Sorry, guys, but like, yeah, I would tell you to get an M4 just because I like M4s. What would you tell them to get?
Probably the same thing, because in airsoft, that's the most abundant weapon.
That's
you have
also
all the accessories,
especially if you live in
parts.
America. It's the best place to find gear.
Yeah.
You have AR mags for everything in America. Like,
and it's been around so long, it's just universally known.
Yeah, that's what I would tell you to get personally.
This is from LTK GoPro.
Interesting.
He's asked stuff before, actually. Hey Amp, I've seen M4 setups with two uppers, one a CQB, one a longer like a DMR. So all they do is switch the upper and get a short outer barrel, an inner barrel, and handguard or opposite. Is it practical? If I were to do that, would I need to get an SMP or Polar Star? Would it work in an AEG without changing springs, or would I need to change that as well?
That's an interesting question.
Saf is probably the number one violator of doing the uppers change at the shop, and he does it with an AEG. I think it's awesome. Yeah, I think it's a perfect thing if you want to keep just, you know, one engine, one gearbox, and you want, you know, something that shoots a little hotter for like a DMR. You could get like a 14-inch upper, put a nice tight bore and a flat hop build in it, and that would bump your FPS a little bit. You'd have a nice outdoor gun, or make a nice, you know, 10-inch for indoor stuff and put, say you get a fusion engine, get a wide bore, and you can tune it a lot better. Or, you know, there's so many options with it. I think a lot of people do it because, you know, maybe they get attached to like their fusion engine. Like our buddy Calling Your Hits, he does the same thing with his Patriot Edition fusion engine. He has a long barrel and a short barrel. It's very common.
I recently switched over from running a 10-inch barrel to an M16.
Yeah.
Just for lulz.
That thing was hilarious.
Sniping dudes at OpEx off the roof from 250 feet out. He was
shot over buildings again.
He was 6 stories up. I shot him off the roof from 250 feet out.
The sun was in his eyes.
I just like to look at him. He's just looking at me like, what's this asshole doing? Smack. I was like, yes.
Yep.
Yes, it worked.
So,
it worked.
depending on the system, doesn't really matter all that much.
Would you need to change springs though? It depends on what your goals are. I'd say what you need to do first before you do 2 upper setups is you have to decide what your goals are. Because I used to do that with my GMP stuff for my Polar Star, and I'm going to be real honest with you. I just quit doing it because, in all honesty, like, I built one setup that worked really, really well 90% of the time, and it happened to be a short barrel setup. Then I never used all those other parts.
Yeah.
I never used them. I had all the intent to do it. I just never did it.
Yeah.
You gotta look into that first, I think.
Yeah, it's again, is it financially worth it? Do you play 50% outdoor, 50% indoor, or, in places that have both engagements? Is it, there's a million questions you got to ask yourself.
Oh man, I almost lost my Second Amendment.
The freedom hat.
Freedom hat with sunglasses kit.
Mustafa got away.
Mustafa got away. Mustafa wasn't real. I watched the movie.
Oh.
It's alright. This one's a video combo platter. I got Jack again.
Oh, cool.
Hey guys, I also record my gameplay when I'm out on the field, but I have the problem that my GoPro records 17 minutes and then starts a new record. But between that, there are breaks from 3 to 4 minutes. It's a GoPro 3. You own a GoPro 3, I do not. Do you know what that is?
Usually the segments the camera is breaking your things up into is usually based on your country. So I'm assuming if this is doing what mine does, it's a German law. Sorry, I'm pretty sure that's where you're from. You always mentioned that before.
Yeah, I think so.
Basically, what cameras that record in very good HD have to do to legally be sold to the public is they are not allowed to record based on their resolution, say like 1080. You're not allowed to record a chunk of video longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, for America, that's 20 minutes.
Yeah, and so Germany, it might be 17. The reason they do this is because it's the main one I've always seen on the or researched, and I went to school for a lot of this, was to combat people who go into movie theaters and record movies. You could sneak a GoPro is half the size of this phone. You could easily...
There's one right there!
You could easily take it into a movie theater and record the newest movie. So basically what they do is they have to chop it into segments. Now, I'm assuming since yours is a shorter time limit and it has a gap, the rules might be stricter where you're from or where your camera came from or where it's licensed to. Because mine will do 20-minute segments, but they are consecutive. Like, I can butt them up to each other like I do with this camera, and there's no gap in it. So maybe look into, like, recording laws from your country. When like HD cameras first started coming out, it was to help them from overheating because they didn't know quite how to, like, air cool the sensors and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's also, with video cameras, there's also an import tax in America. So that's to combat the prevalence of Japanese electronics when they were first hitting the market in America, to try to give them American manufacturers that YOLO quit anyways.
GoPro's like the only one, and they're probably made in Japan.
And so, like, they just, like, whatever.
Yep.
So, but that was originally to combat that. So there's a higher tax on a video camera. So in order for something to be considered a video camera, it has to record for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So all of the DSLR cameras and all these other cameras that are small, in order to evade and dip and miss that import tax, they record for that set amount of time, so they don't get that import tax.
It also allows them to keep the price a little more reasonable for people who just want to buy it for what we use it for.
Exactly.
Because like movie cameras are not cheap.
No, an actual like film camera or a digital film camera, like
$50,000.
A good one, yeah, a good one's like $50,000, man.
Ouch.
I'm never gonna afford that. James Jerriman. Hey guys, love the show. Anthony said in the Brain Bucket video that you used to run a Contour. I have one, and the quality in CQB is crap.
Strong keyword, used to.
I used to, yeah. I want to know what settings you ran with it because I want to get good gameplay. Thanks. First of all, you're going to run your ISO a little higher.
Yeah, the Contours were... you have to get the software in your computer.
You have to find the software, and then you can manually adjust all the settings.
You can go in and adjust it to whatever your setting is. I think we left yours for a while on auto.
The train has come!
I knew it would happen.
Anyway, so
Yeah, normally your contour
I
is
left mine on auto,
auto,
and if you can tell the videos from when I had my contour and then I switched to my GoPro, because my GoPro is far superior.
It's Bauer.
Can I have the bows, Fizzy?
Ah, yeah. Tap, tap.
Oh no, I saved it.
Oh jeez. I ran all my stuff on auto, and it did okay.
The thing was,
I liked my contour because it was low profile, but at the end of the day, the GoPro gave me a lot more options for external power, which was a big thing for me.
especially with the newer GoPros, the image quality is miles ahead. Miles ahead.
And I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. I just, I didn't really like it.
Go.
All right, 5-minute frenzy, we're doing it. Lawson is behind you, die. Which fires faster on semi, Jack or S&P? Exactly the same because they go in your gearbox and they use your stock trigger. Next question. Your neighborhood Merc and Yins are a bunch of jagoffs. Just kidding. But since you live in PA, are you part of the Steeler Nation or do you tolerate the Eagles? I'm from Northeast Ohio originally, so go Cleveland.
Sports.
Jaden Thomason. What FPS do you think I will be at with 3.2 BB, silver nozzle, 455 Orga, 6.23, and a red poppet with a Polar Star? Don't know, man. You got to chrono it. I don't have that number memorized. I have no clue, man. You're going to have to chrono it. Jacob Diego, will you ever sell MREs? We will at Milson West. We're selling MREs there.
And then whatever's left, we'll have them.
Yeah. Jack24, Jack on the road. Love the show. What do you think of coiled lines? I hate them. I hate coiled lines.
I've seen a lot of them blowing out, too.
I hate them. They're annoying. Ugh, not a fan. Captain Camp Corners. What type of operator is the best to start airsoft? The one that carries the rifle around and makes the pew noises. I don't think that's, that's subjective. Xander Airsoft. Hey, Amp, when you're going to have Russian gear on your website after Milson West, because we're giving everyone who's going to Milson West a chance to buy it first. Then anything that's left goes up on the website, and then we'll resupply it from there.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of it. Jake Vase. What the fuck is Matt's phone plugged into? You're sitting on a rock. Hey, you know what? There was magic in that. There was magic. We'll leave that up. We'll leave that up to you to
It's
discover.
my magical helmet battery.
Dylan Shen, Anthony, I've seen a dick butt patch in one of the videos. Where did you get it? Tactical Outfitters.
We carry them now.
We carry them now, so we're gonna start getting them in actually. So if you want to get them through us, we can find them.
Dick butt is love.
Dick butt is life. Hayden Gerard, just started watching your guys' videos. You're funnier than hell. I found you guys looking for info on the Tipman M4. Love you guys. Hashtag 14 crunch counties over doing it in a super flank.
We'll come 14 counties over. We'll say hi.
Yeah, come swing back around for the less super flank. We can, talk to you and say hi.
Come back for a direct assault.
Come back for the direct assault. RK Shuri Games. I hear some of you play PC games. We should hit it up on a game sometime. I play Xbox because I'm lazy. I could play PC, but I'm lazy.
I have a PS2.
He's poor.
I gotta find the power cable.
Nepa Airsoft, good video on number 31. Thoughts on the new Echo 1 GAT coming out? I think their marketing campaign was a little racist as hell. Just a skosh. If you could see the promotional material I originally saw for it, you'd be like, whoa, pump the brakes, bro. I think the idea of the gun's cool. I like variety, so that way people can run whatever they want.
Dudes who go to CQB fields will love it.
Especially if you're doing like an irregular force, not like you're like playing as like a cartel or like a foreign country. Like little goofy guns like that I think are cool for that because then you know you have options.
Mm-hmm.
Zinky2988, I made my AEG do 40 rounds per second. Cool story. Next question.
Hope you got plenty of spare gears.
Good luck, man. James Jerriman, hey guys, thanks for reading my question, but I kind of messed up. I want to know how to tell the different gen trigger boards apart. Thanks, love the show. There's pictures. Just look up the pictures and then compare them, and it's written on the site. Like it says, this is a one for this and this. If you just go on our website, man. I think it's probably Hovan or Jovan Molina.
Yeah,
What's a good high-speed motor that can pull on 120? I like the GMP M120 motors a lot.
Yeah, that or the Lone X's are pretty good.
Lone X are pretty solid too. And if you can find the Sistema Magnum motor, if you can find one,
I'll buy it off you.
I will buy. I don't even like AEGs really, and I will buy one from you.
I just wanted to have it over people.
Those are hard to find.
Yep.
Connor McGingerbeard. There's a hashtag in there. Hashtag what am I supposed to do with 3 lemon guns? Hashtag helps ples. You could buy a jack and put it in one of them.
There you go.
Am I done?
Yeah.
Well, I got one in my hand, so
Go for it.
We'll do this
Pull
list.
2.
Pull 2?
Screw it.
It.
Give me those bad
I,
boys.
that was a pretty solid run. I think I got about 15 or
Yeah.
20 in.
You're pretty good.
That's pretty good. So this one's from Spartan Airsoft Ben. Matt laying down the Shia. Oh, it gonna get worse before it get better.
No! What are you waiting for?
Just
Do it!
do it! And this
that
one's from
one's
Kevin Den. Hey, Amped, I was wondering where I can get Russian gear and camo. After Milson West from us, we will have it. We will have it.
Yes, we will, sir.
Did you already draw your question?
I did not.
So yeah, so here's the thing with the Russian stuff. I almost said Russian shit.
Kinda.
I still said it. But here's the thing about it. We will have it in after Milson West. The thing is we got it all in for Milson West, so that the guy, because it's a very to be on the Russian team, you have to have Russian kit. So
Yeah.
we figured that the guys who are going to a Milson West game would really appreciate being able to buy replacement uniforms if they tear theirs, or if they only have one set of something, they want a double in case it gets wet or nasty out.
Yeah.
We figured we'd buy all that stuff so they'd have it. So we're gonna preview all of our Russian stuff there. We have smirches, we have vests, helmets,
Words.
suits, partisan, the stuff, Digiflora. I don't know. We got all kinds of crap.
Basically, everything that came in has been giving our stock and check-in employee conniptions because everything is in Russian. Their sizing is scattered. It's hilarious. We've got everything,
We've
but
been
it's
rubbing
funny.
potatoes together and
Yeah.
trying to make magic happen. But okay, when it's all said and done, after Milson West, that's when
going
we're
online.
debuting it.
Yep.
I will be taking photos of it, and then Saffron and I will be putting it on the website, and then you guys can just eat it all up.
And then obviously we'll start restocking as it goes on because it's
If you guys like it, we'll keep
Yeah.
restocking. It depends on if people buy it from us. If people buy Russian kit from us, we'll restock it. If it doesn't sell, we won't. There's a reason why you don't find a lot of stuff on our website. We personally won't sell it because we think it's crap,
yep.
or people have no interest in it,
Yeah.
so we won't stock it.
The main thing we want to do is because this is all gear from Russia. We wanted to get in it because a lot of thing that dissuades people is the ability to get it. Customs, shipping fee, that
Russian post office is a little sketch.
little bit.
A little sketch sometimes, I feel.
You ever watch the beginning of Castaway?
Wilson!
This clock took 80 hours to get around the planet. Oh, here we go. So this is our this or that category. Can
So-
you guess what that's about?
I'm guessing that means, should I buy this or should I buy that?
Pat Phoenix. Can I Polar Star or SMP my G&G Sig 552? Hashtag F Tactical Maracas. I don't even know what that is. F.
Can you pull your Sig 552 sit with a fusion engine? Probably not, man. But with a drop-in system, probably a lot easier.
Bet you could get a jack
I've
in
never
there.
seen one, so like, I mean, that your guess is as good as mine on that one. I assume so, though.
Yeah. Dylan Benedicto. Hey, Amp, do you know when the Wolverine Hydras and Polar Star F1s are going to be released? And what do you think will be the better out of the two?
Well, the F1's coming very soon. We have a test Hydra in the shop right now that we've
Yes.
been dinking off with. And to be honest with you, I don't know which one's going to be better. Because one hasn't come out yet, and one of them I've literally only put one mag through it.
Yes.
And also, here's the thing, like, since we're a retailer, like, if we're going to get these products in, it would be advantageous of us not to be overtly negative about something.
Yeah.
But what we do try to do is we try to get in products that we would buy.
Excuse me.
So there's a reason why you won't see a certain HPA system on our website, and that's because we think it's a pile of garbage, and we refuse to put it on the website. So we only get in products that we at least feel will meet your needs.
That we would run.
That we would run.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why we do review videos, because we want to show you how we feel about something that's new. Like, I love the Tippmann. That's
Yeah.
why we did a review on it. I love the Tippmann. I think it's ridiculously fun.
And that's why we were
Doesn't
honest
shoot
in it.
great. Doesn't shoot great, but man, is it so fun to just run around and.
Nage Bam. Hey Amp, first of all, love the show. Looking into getting an HPA, but I have a couple questions. What's a better system between a Wolverine and a Jack? Also, what line, tank, and rig should I use? Also, what does it retail for everything that I would need? Keep up the good work, guys.
www.ampedairsoft.com. You're going to go to the HPA section. You're going to go products, airsoft replicas and parts, HPA setups, player kits. And then it's going to have all of your options to build a player kit with all the stuff that you'll need, tank, air rig, all the costs will be there. Also, if you live in a foreign country, it's already going to have It's going to have a unit converter, so you can convert over your money to the country that you're ordering it from. It also has a live shipping update for base level shipping, so it includes the price at the top edge of the screen for your cart, and that is your actual cost, including shipping. I spent a lot of time coding that in, so just use that. That'll tell you exactly. Now, which one's better? Functionally, I mean, they will function pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I feel that
Jack is cheaper.
Jack is cheaper, and I feel that the Wolverine is very, very simplistic in the terms of its function. Like it's just like simple. Like it's just really simple to use. It's really simple to do. So like in all honesty, it's down to personal preference. Neither one of them's really that much better or worse than the other one.
I'll throw you a bone on that one. Decide what you plan on spending money-wise, and then what you're putting it in. Because the Jack is smaller, it will fit in certain other things, but the S&P is going to have a lot more nozzle options.
Yes, a lot
the Jack
more
is
nozzle.
much newer. So
Much newer, doesn't have quite the option set for it.
and then
That's true.
tank line and rig,
Like I said, go to the player kit, pick out the one you want, and see if it fits your cost, man.
and then Nick Smith. Hey guys, what do you think would be best to put in a KAC Stoner 96? Jack, S&P, or F1?
He's trying way too hard.
Man, that thing is slammed to the ground.
That is the ugliest looking car I have ever seen.
And then do you think it would be necessary to run dual tanks on my back using the dual tank Firebase regulator for Milsim games? Thanks for the help. Hashtag Speedsoft who plays Milsim.
Uh-oh.
Hashtag one love for both Milsim and Speedsoft. I'm glad you dip your toes in the both waters.
I think the point is that as long as you abide by the spirit of the game, I think you should be able to have fun playing both.
Yep.
So in a Speedsoft field, if everything's about running and being as fast as possible, then you should play that way.
Yep.
And if you want to play Milsim, then you should abide by the rules of the field, or not so much the rules of the field, but the feel of the game, where you try to do things as realistically as possible and you place limitations on yourself.
Yep.
So as long as you're doing that, I don't see why you can't do both. I don't know why people seem to think there's a problem with it.
Yeah. KC Stoner, just from experience, I think we've put mostly S&Ps in that.
We've had mostly S&Ps, but the Jack and the F1 weren't out yet when those guns were ordered.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the Jack and an F1 would perform just fine.
Honestly, I would, for a KC, since it's the center of line, you could basically cross the F1 out because that will probably be a little pricier than the S&P because the Polar Star has been putting a lot of work into that, and it's going to be it's going to be a good system.
It's going to be. I have I'm going to make a prediction.
Yeah.
And say that it's probably going to be the future default Polar Star system.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it allows offset nozzles for M14s and stuff like that, and they're putting a really high level of engineering into it. It's going to be excellent. So out of the Fusion, the Polar Star systems, I think that'll be the default high end. Like the Fusion engine is going to be the highest end, but it's going to fall out of favor to the F1 because the F1's going to be cheaper and easier to install and stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll have more options.
So I would either go with the Jack or an S&P, just based on price. And then he asked about dual tanks. I've only seen a few support gunners run dual tanks.
I've only seen it. If you have the right setup with the right barrel and the right efficiency, you shouldn't need dual tanks. If you want to run them, I'm not going to dissuade you from doing it. Yeah. I know a guy who used to run a Mark 46 GMP with a Fusion engine install in it.
Yeah.
And he ran dual tanks and didn't hate it, but I would have never done that. I just would have got a 90 engine and just dealt with it.
There was a dude, I filled his tanks at OpX this last weekend or previous weekend in New York. Dude was running dual tank 90s with an M60 with a 203 on it. Dude wanted to kill people.
The 203, I grabbed a really thick one.
Maybe grab a small one. We got a couple minutes left on this one. Grab a small one.
Oh man.
We can answer that after, but I got to reset.
Oh man. Okay, well I'll hold on to it.
Yeah, keep that one out. Yeah, do that, and then I got to reset.
Okay. Logan Silva here. Hey, love the show so far. I'm right-handed, but my left eye is dominant. But I'm nearsighted, where my left eye has a poorer eyesight than my right. So I'm wondering what goggles can fit glasses in without paying too much money or getting inserts. Thanks. Let's see here. Here's what I would do. In all honesty, dude, like wearing goggles over top of glasses is gonna be uncomfortable.
The bridge of your nose is.
You're gonna hate it. Like
yeah.
I know you don't want to get inserts or pay too much money, man, but I'm gonna tell you right now up front, like
contacts. If you can.
He says he has poor eyesight in one eye. If you can get multi-prescription contacts, or if you can get Or if you get inserts for a military issue brand of goggles like the Revisions or the ESSs where they have a built, you can go purchase an insert clip for it.
Yeah.
You should do that. Like, you just no bullshit, you should do that. Just because I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. Like, I have glasses too. He has glasses. I've done the whole glasses with goggles thing. I used to have to do it in high school a lot when I played paintball.
Yeah.
It is awful. It is the worst. Just get contacts. Like, I run contacts, or just pony up the cash, man. You're just gonna have to do it. Like, for your comfort level and your enjoyment, you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's just gonna have to be that way.
There's a few sets of goggles out there on the market. I forget.
Most paintball masks have softer foam that'll allow you to do that. If you get ESS Striker, the larger the big goofy big striker goggles, you can have foam, but it deteriorates and it still crushes your nose and crushes the side of your head.
If you have like an older like JT mask, I found I tore one up a couple days ago. I had a really old one laying around. I tore it up to make a face protector for my goggles, but the goggles are still fine, but they're really big and the foam is like that thick between the plastic and your face. I was just like, I haven't worn these in years. I put them on over my glasses and they were fine. So I mean, if you really want to go for something really big, you can.
I'm just saying, man. Just get the script inserts, man.
In the long run,
you'll be happier.
Yeah.
You'll be happier. You'll see better.
Yeah.
If you get an Action Mic fan, or if you get ESS Turbo fans or a Turbo fan goggle, you'll keep them from fogging. Like,
yeah, because
here's
if
the
you
thing.
wear glasses, dual fogging.
I know airsofters love to not spend money. I know that for a fact. That's why clone airsoft gun companies exist, and that's why people don't buy Maruis anymore. People like to stay cheap as possible. That's why replica gear exists, and I get that. Like, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive, man. I get it. But, like, when it comes to your vision, or, like, another thing I see people chimp on all the time, but I don't want you to do it, is, like, your feet, like, nice boots. Like, you gotta spend the money, man. You just got to. Like, because you're just gonna hate life. You're gonna hate playing if you're gonna be uncomfortable and half blind and fogging and stuff. Like, nice eye pro, nice boots, nice hydro.
Yeah.
Do that stuff, and you can have fun with just about any gun. Like, I'm gonna be real straight with you, man. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. So we're gonna do two more combo platters. You're gonna go first since I drew the last question.
Mine's smaller. This is another HPA related one. This has to do a little more with like tanks and lines and stuff like that. Hoffinator 7. Just want to say I love your videos, the work you do, and the whole approach to airsoft with Coalition of the Willing.
Thank you. Spread it. Spread it.
Actually,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
I gotta send you something later. My question is, would it be okay to paint over the fittings on an HPA line so it's a little more stealthy, or is it possible for you guys to make them with black anodized parts?
Most of the HPA fittings are stainless steel or brass, and so you can't anodize them. You can paint them, yes, but you have to be careful about getting paint into the inner workings of them. Yeah. Because let's say you get paint inside the nozzle or inside the QD coupler or anything like that, like, that could wreak some havoc. Like, that could ruin solenoids.
That could get bad quick.
That could clog lines. Like, that could ruin some stuff. Can you do it? Yes. Would I suggest it? No. What I would honestly do if you're concerned about the visibility of your HPA fittings, I've never run it. I've never had a problem with people seeing me in the woods or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never done it. But if you really are truly concerned, you could probably get like a camouflage hose cover and just tie it on up higher after you get everything situated so it covers the connection point.
What you could always do is get some like elastic band too.
Yeah,
like
elastic
black
tube
elastic,
band.
like the
for your
insulation stuff for your hydro hose.
Yeah,
those insulation tubes or something like that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Something
Something
just
that's
cut like little like.
Because I would never suggest doing something permanent because if you mess it up, oops, like that
PG warranty.
That could really suck.
Yeah,
that could really suck.
Grizzly 192C, Dear Amped. Looking into buying an HPA system, but I have some questions. Not looking to break the bank, so what tank, PSI, and all the good stuff would you recommend to shoot about 330 FPS for CQB? Thanks and keep up the good work. Again, that stuff doesn't necessarily, besides PSI, doesn't necessarily affect what you would run.
The tank and air rig do not affect the operating, the CQB PSI that you'll need. What affects your PSI is going to be what system you're running, barrel bore, your BBs, because you should chrono in joules. Like, let's say you're shooting 330 FPS, but you're shooting 330 FPS with a 3.
Ouch.
That's equivalent to the same joule rating as 400 FPS with a 2. So, it's just because you're shooting 330 doesn't mean you're, like, So
Yeah.
here's what you're going to need. If you're going to want to run a low PSI, depends on your system, depends on your barrel, depends on the nozzle bore if you have a fusion engine, depends on your poppet if you have a fusion engine. Like, there's so much to that question. Like, I would need a lot more specifics. But tank and air rig or whatever, man. Whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you prefer, man.
Ethan Johnson May, what tank, regular, and PSI would you recommend for HPA tapping TM high kappa? You're gonna need to run between 90 and 100 roughly for those.
Like most green gas tops out at 120.
Well, TMs are they
TMs
slightly
run on duster
lower.
gas, and they want to run at like 90 to 100 psi or lower. And basically, like any tank and air rig that'll adjust that low. So SLP, Firebase, LPR,
Yeah.
all of those would be gravy. Gravy
Yeah.
train. Say hi to Robbie. Banana pants. Bye-bye, Banana. I love you.
Patrick Griffin, hey Amp, what's the difference between SOP and regular air tanks? I know you have a video on them, but is one better than the other?
One is not better than the other one. It's personal preference, really.
Yep.
I feel that the SLP air rig has a very high refresh rate for full auto, so it's very good for that.
Yeah.
But the tank and air rig doesn't. There's not one that's better.
No.
Not really. Let's see here. So then I got combo platter again. This one's gonna be all about hop-up stuff. So this is from Matthew Lerner. He did this in all capitals, so bear with me. What mid caps will feed best in Pro Win? My amoeba mids won't feed. Sad face. Hashtag operator. Hashtag Canada by its SH.
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. Hashtag more reload. Hashtag I like mag changes. Hashtag amped can't handle airsoft junkies. Oh man. Oh, you know what? No,
I don't answer your question.
I don't even
man.
want to answer your question. I'm from Canada. I have a legit set of CAD-PAT BDUs. Hashtag come to Canada. What mid-caps will feed?
Well, now I have two reasons not to like you.
That's not nice at all. Can't handle airsoft junkies, huh? You're right. I can't. Next question.
No. Just keep going.
Overkill Luke. So I have an actual question for you today instead of an amp troll life.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you this time. I'm looking at hop-up units for my AK, an Echo 1 OCW, or souped-up Cyma. I was originally going to go with a Pro Win, like you guys recommend, but I recently learned it won't fit my rifle, and you'll have to cannibalize other hop-up units for it. Is it worth it to mod a Pro Win, or stick with something I know will work like a Lone X unit? In all honesty, like an AK, just stick with the stock units, man. Stock AK units work fine.
Yeah.
It's not like an M4 unit where it drastically changes the way it physically works. Just stick with the, like, we know lots of guys who run AKs and they just stick with the stock units. Good barrel, hop-up bucking, and either a flat hop mod or an R hop mod, stock hop-up, and they work just fine.
Yeah.
AKs already outshoot most M4s anyways. So, like, that's what I would do. No sense to spend money if you don't have to. Robbie's laying off camera. Would you agree with that, Robbie?
We're being sly.
Celebrity shot. I'll slide in here.
Just slide in right
Sneak
here.
on in here.
Hey, it's
Are you happy now? He's back.
Would
Yeah.
you
Banana.
would you agree that sticking with a stock
Degree.
AK hop up is
For most
fine?
guns, yes, or at least the plastic ones. For whatever reason, I've used a lot of CNC, like the Pro Wins and the Fox Custom ones, and it just seems like most of the time the plastic ones shoot just as well, if not better.
So
I've
just,
seen a lot of guys.
it's got an
complain
Echo
about the
1, so
Pro
it's going to come with a plastic
It's
unit.
really
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, stick with that.
Stick with that,
Pro
man.
Win, a lot of times the Pro Wins actually won't function as well in
Yeah.
AEGs or Polar Stars for that matter. So
Because you had a Pro and you tried to put it in your Polar Star
yeah,
AK, and it didn't work
I had
very
a beta
well.
project. I didn't like it at all. So.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, you'll be fine there, man. See you later, Robbie.
Bye.
He's got to go back to work. Much bummed. Very
Much
sad.
science downstairs.
He's making magic happen. AFK Gaming. Hello again. I'm trying to make my M4 more ranged gun. It's a G&G Mod O with a MOSFET and a tight bore barrel. Other than that, it's stock. Do you guys have any recommendations for increasing range on it? And don't forget to mess up for the lulls. Let's see here. If you're looking for more range, flat hop or an R hop mod to your hop up setup would be perfectly fine. You don't really need to increase your FPS that much, and if you have a really good high quality tight bore, you're already like a third of the way there.
Yeah.
And as for hop up, I prefer for an M4 the Pro Win style because it doesn't any rotary style like that because they don't back off. Like that's the thing with the standard hop ups. Eventually they wear in, and then the knobs as the BB goes along the axis of the gun, the adjustment wheel goes the same direction. So as the BB hits it, it unadjusts itself eventually as it gets too broke in.
Yeah.
I like the Pro Win because it's perpendicular, and so what happens is as the BB goes through the gun, it won't unadjust the wheel for the Pro-Win. That's so Pro-Win hop up and a flat hop or an R-hop mod. Flat hop if you don't want to get too hardcore into like, spending a lot of time trying to get it just right. But that's what I would do personally. You don't really need to do too much after that.
Yeah, boy.
How do you feel about that?
Same.
Yeah. Chris Erpelding. Hey, I recently got a KWA SR10 and was wondering if I could flat hop it, or will it not work because the KWA hop is proprietary. In all honesty, the flat hop and the R-hop mods actually show the most improvement in KWAs because they can't use aftermarket hop-ups that'll improve their performance already.
Unless you feel like doing a lot of Dremel work, which is...
I don't recommend that at all. Don't even try that.
Yeah.
If you're really hardcore, you can, but I don't recommend it.
I've seen a lot of people mess it up, and then your guns...
Yeah, so like, they work really well in that. I mean, because really what you're doing is you're just changing the rubber and the nub.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing, both for an R-hop and a flat hop. Those are the main things that you're changing. So would I recommend those for that? Yeah, totally, because they'll have because you can't change the hop up. That's the worst thing about the KWAs. You can't change the hop up, and the KWA hop up is meh. I'm gonna be real straight here. I'm not gonna candy coat it. It's meh.
Yeah.
So it doesn't suck, but it's not good. So it's just kind of like in that C range. Like it's not an A student. It's not a failure. It's just like right in the middle. So like it'll work. That'll help out a lot.
C's get degrees.
C's do get degrees. Welcome to Kent State.
Oh, damn.
Connor Duffy, deer amp, I own a Crytek CRB and want to maximize range and accuracy. What barrel bucking hop-up would you recommend, if any, to put into it to get the maximized range and accuracy I'm looking for? Thanks and keep up the great show. Thank you, sir. What I would recommend, actually, with the Crytek is just to get a tight bore.
Yeah.
Whatever barrel you want to put in it, man. Because the bucking and nub combo with the hop-up that comes with the Crytek is actually really excellent for a stock gun. A Crytek CRB or SPR will outshoot most, I'd say roughly about 2/3 of upgraded M4s out of the box. That's already a huge improvement over a regular stock M4 setup.
So honestly, I'd run the stock.
Just put a better barrel in it.
Better barrel until like you Shrek the bucking or something.
Yeah,
Maybe get a purple.
Then maybe get a purple nub and maybe get a Pro-Win.
Yeah. Or even just
flat hop on it.
Flat hop it.
Yeah, but just stick with your stock stuff first, because in all honesty, the stock stuff in a Crytek is excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of HPAing one, to be honest with you, just because it's all like pretty solid out of the box. The only thing I'm going to do is put a new barrel in it and just pew, 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 and just run with it. So I mean, that's all I would do. Mr. 308 Ryan, hey guys, thanks for all you guys do in the airsoft community. Please do a Baofeng Pleb to Pro, as well as going into different types of connections commonly used in comms. Keep up the good work.
Noted.
We can note that. P.S. How the hell are you guys charging so much for the Promi Purple? Seriously, seems kind of redonkulous. Just my opinion.
Uneducated opinion.
It's $18 on Evike, and we sell it for what? I think we sell it for like
between 17 and 19.
We sell it for
or
about
cheaper.
I think we sell it for just under what Evike sells it for.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we sell for the same price, I think.
Redonkulous price? I don't know about that. I think that we match our competition.
We do. We
at least match it. I think because we can't afford to. Because if we overcharge for it, no one would buy them.
Yeah, I mean we match all the other big guys. So.
Yeah, all of our prices are MAP or matched prices with all of the large competitors. So the only time you might find a better deal is because they do some kind of ridiculous sale that a small company like us just can't keep up with.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, buy something and get 15 free guns. But like, we can't do that. We're poor.
$5,000 mystery box. Like, uh-oh.
Hey!
That's Adam.
Adam pulled in.
And Austin.
Dion Damsma. Hey, Amp Bros, I want to do a flat hop upgrade on my KWA SR7. The problem is a lot of the parts are proprietary on this AEG. Is it possible to fit a Promi Purple bucking with an Amazu nub in the existing hop-up chamber? Really appreciate any tips and help. Yes, totally. Yeah, go for it, dude.
Sweet.
And then now, because I'm feeling generous, I'll answer Matthew Lerner's comment. What mid-caps will feed best in my Pro-Win? My Amoeba mids won't feed. Sad face. To be honest with you, what it sounds like is you have a spacing problem in your Amoeba. You might want to use some barrel O-rings to get your spacing adjusted, because there shouldn't be a reason why one would feed over another one.
Yeah.
If you want me to be dead honest with you, like for real. You might want to do some barrel O-ring spacers instead of the screw that's in the front of the Pro-Win, and that should fix it.
Yeah, should be good to go.
Airsoft junkies, really? You're gonna try to start a brawl for nothing? I like the Airsoft junkies, guys. Don't try to pick a fight. Ain't cool.
Yeah, it's not cool, man.
What's up, guys? We're recording. Being professional as always.
You want to be on camera, Adam?
Do you want to be on camera? No. Austin, you look shy. Do you want to be shy in front of the camera?
For what? Sassy pants.
Sassy pants.
Eh.
Hey, boss.
We broke Bauer.
We're professionals here.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's get this. over
Okay,
with.
so. Anyway, so now we're good. We're gonna be signing out, guys. Remember, if you want to ask questions down below, this has been episode 32. Apparently not 34. Apparently I'm lost. But ask questions down below in the doobly-doo. Ask them on
It
Facebook.
hurts when I listen with my eyeballs.
I can smell sounds. So, ask them down below. Some stuff real quick. We're gonna be going to Milsom West this weekend, so you will probably.
This should be out before
If
we
this
go.
comes out before it, we'll be there. If it doesn't,
We were there.
we probably had a great time. Probably, in all
Hopefully we
honesty.
didn't die.
Yeah, we hopefully none of us got seriously injured or killed.
Died.
Died.
Eh.
Jesus Christ, that is so ridiculous, that noise.
Eh.
So, upcoming stuff we got coming out.
Oh, so much.
Jack review. LBX 2-point sling review.
X-Mag.
Hex Mag review.
Hydra once it starts
Hydra
getting in.
review.
Yep.
We're gonna be doing a
Plenty of Pleb to Pros.
well, there's gonna be like half a dozen Pleb to Pros.
Yep.
The Jewel one that we still have to shoot.
Yeah.
The Jewel one, big deal. That's gonna be a two-parter.
Definitely going to be some good action videos from Milsom West. We're also going to do some interviews with those guys because we really want to sit down and just chat with them. I've been
Talk to
talking to
them.
Brian a lot. There's a bunch of really cool dudes. So.
Super chill as hell.
Yep.
So look out for all that stuff, and remember to keep using the Coalition of the Willing hashtag. We
Mhm.
just did a contest on Instagram about that, didn't
Yes.
we?
You
So
just reminded me I have to message the winner.
so we got a winner. So if you're watching this, congratulations. Other than that, I think that should be pretty good. Upcoming. Oh, also review of the Mil-Spec Monkey Adapt Pack.
Yep.
I'm missing something else. There's another one.
There's plenty.
Dude, there's a
lot coming.
Basically, we'll be doing a mag review, so there'll be the Amoeba midcaps in there, the PTS EPMs are in there, the new Hex mags will be in there.
Yeah, boy.
So that'll be coming. Look forward to that. Other than that, got anything else to add? Anyways, guys, this has been Anthony.
Matu.
See you guys later. Have a good afternoon, evening, good night. I'm gonna put my freedom glasses back on my freedom hat. Second Amendment Pro. Freedom is free.